Michael Gomez, and I'm a real estate broker and an investor here in Nashville, Tennessee.
And I'm Seth Mosley, Grammy Award-winning songwriter and real estate investor.
We host a monthly meetup in Middle Tennessee for anyone who wants to build passive income, not only for retirement, but for today.
On the first Wednesday of every month, we bring in an expert from every area of investing to help you with things like finding deals, getting your financing locked in, asset protection, every kind of investing, so much more.
Our videos are all about delivering that content to you.
Go to musicandmoneyig.com for more info on our free monthly events. Hit subscribe on the page so you don't miss any awesome content, and hit that like button if you like it.
Don't let all the flair of my jacket distract you.
Here's the content. Please welcome, all the way from Nashville, Tennessee, my good friend Jerremy Newsome on how to become an amazing, incredible sales machine. Welcome, Jerremy.
Thanks, bud. Appreciate it. I don't think I've ever had one of these. This is nice. Ladies and gentlemen, how is everyone doing this beautiful morning? I want to make sure I know where the stage is at. If I fall off at some point, it's just going to be a good day. It's going to be a good day. I like the energy in this room right now, but we're going to make it a little bit better. So what I want everyone to do, if you don't mind, just stand up for me. I mean, you know I was going to do this. You already knew. So just do a little bit of a stretch. That's all I'm asking. Nothing intense, just a little bit of a stretch. Yeah. All right, now the fun part. I want you to hug two strangers. Let's go ahead and get some hugs. I'm coming up to get some hugs as well. Yep, I'm coming to get some hugs. Hug some strangers. All right, man. Hey, buddy. Yeah, man. What's up? Hey, bud, I'm Jerremy. Zach. Nice to meet you, Zach.
Hey, Jeremy.
How are you? Johnny, nice to meet you. Everyone getting some hugs? Hey, bud. Oh, yes. There we go. Feeling good. Oh, yes. Now isn't the energy a little bit better? Woo! Yes. I love hugs. It's one of my love languages. I'm a big fan. Who wants to make some more money? Yeah. Who wants to be a millionaire? Who wants to be a billionaire? Who's worried I'm about to sell you something? Come on, be honest. He just wants to be on Jeopardy. Is a tough game. Every time I watch that, I think to myself, I don't know anything. I know this, though. We're going to make some money today, folks. I'm going to teach you today how to implement so many skills, craft the way you dictate, the way you speak to people, so that you can become an incredible sales machine. But before I do that, I am going to tell you something. You got to follow these guys. I want everyone to open your phones right now. We're going to go into YouTube, and you're going to find Nashville Investors Podcast. If you're watching online, you already have your phone in your hand. Everyone has your phone in your hand. It's free. It is so good. I went on the YouTube the other day to just check it out, to peruse a little bit, and it is legit. This guy puts in work. Just subscribe. I don't care if you don't watch it ever. Just give us some subscription numbers. Boost it up. Give them some love, people. They put in work. I've been coming to these for almost as long as they've started. So I'd say about 2.5 years. And I've actually presented twice. This is the second time. And it's okay your phones are going off because that's the noise of subscriptions coming in, Seth. That's what that noise is. Yes. So thank you for subscribing, ladies and gentlemen. This really is a great podcast. I have listened to some of the videos, and I'm going to continue to do so. It's free. It's really informative, and it's there forever. So again, I just want to say thank you for all the people who helped putting this on. I'm probably going to forget some names, but Jericho, thank you so much for doing all your hard work, man. Bryce behind the camera. This legendary gentleman that you can't even see, he's a wizard back there. There's wizardry magic going on behind the screen. Seth Mosley, thank you so much. Mike Gomez, thank you for allowing me to be here. Candace, thanks for being here for the first time ever. That's exciting. Tom, thanks you for being here. And my dear Ashley, thank you for building the slides. All the things you're about to see, I can't do this at all. I am not very good at building slides, but I am incredibly creative, and we're going to be diving in today. Why is this presentation important? What are we going to take away? There's a strong chance that in your day-to-day activities and in your week-to-week phone calls, you're probably saying some things wrong, and we're going to fix those today. There's also a massive chance that you're going to be using some mediocre things that you're saying they're getting mediocre results. We could all get better results. We can agree on that, right? Yes, we can all get better results. The things that we're going to be discussing, hopefully, can increase your sales while you're still here. You could do phone calls tomorrow morning. This is the beginning of June. So we have all month to just become a little marginally better. When I say marginally better, I'm talking like 20, 30, 40% increases in sales. Just by using some small tactics. Tom, you would like 30% more sales, wouldn't you? Yes, he's pumped up. All right, the reason that we're here, and again, thank you everyone for being here, is I would argue that effective sales is the number one skill set anyone can have. Anyone. If you're in financial hell, learn to sell. That's mine. You can write that down. All right, thank you. Yes, you said that's good. It is, if you want more money, everyone here wants more money. I get that. I love that. It's a fantastic thing. Money is incredible. Learn to sell. A lot of people feel bad about becoming a great salesperson. They think that, I'm selling something, I'm selling myself, I don't need that much money. Whatever your stories are in your head, whatever the things that are going to be holding you back, we're going to be breaking some of those down today. Because this is the most effective skill set anyone can have ever. It's sales. If you can learn this technique, you can make as much money as you want in anything you want. Doesn't matter if you're selling yourself, Billy, if you're selling a program, an ebook, an actual book, which I'll sell later, a program, whatever it is that you're selling, whatever it is, just get really good at it. Enjoy the product. Enjoy what it does for other people. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself, just in case you might not know who I am. I do a lot of really cool things, and I have been in sales for a very long time. My dad was a pharmaceutical salesman, and so I grew up listening to him pitch people on the phone, in person, at doctor's offices. He would take me around. And I'll tell you a quick story. When I was 6 years old, I watched the movie Forrest Gump. Raise your hand if you've ever seen Forrest Gump. Every hand. Good. That's my favorite movie. And if you haven't seen Forrest Gump, you should. But everyone's seen Forrest Gump. It's a great film. Good old Tom Hanks, man. He pees in every movie, by the way. Yeah, go back and watch any movie Tom Hanks is in. He urinates in every film. I'm just saying, it's just one of his things. Brad Pitt eats in every movie. Every single film. Even if it's just chips, an apple, something, he eats in every film. Anyway, love Tom Hanks and love Forrest Gump. And in that movie, towards the end, Forrest Gump goes to the mailbox and opens up a letter, right? And he says that, Lieutenant Dan invested in a fruit company and we don't have to worry about money anymore. You guys know what I'm talking about, that scene? Well, I was dirt poor when that movie came out. And I thought, Dad, this would be really cool not to worry about money anymore. I've never actually heard anyone say that phrase. That was the first time my conscious mind remembers anyone ever saying, we don't have to worry about money anymore. And I thought, man, how do we make that happen? And so I asked my dad in the letter that Forrest Gump was reading that he invested in a fruit company. So I asked my dad, what is investing? And what is the fruit company? You guys all know the fruit company. It's Apple. So I asked my dad, what is Apple? What is investing? He told me. He gave me his answer. Told me about computers and that people are going to be buying them. I was like, well, Dad, you should invest in Apple. And he said, well, son, it doesn't work that way. This is a movie. It's not real. You can't just go and invest in Apple. I'm like, sure you can. Forrest Gump is an idiot, and you're the smartest guy I know. If he's doing it, you should do it. So I convinced him. I more or less begged him. I more or less threw a temper tantrum. And at some point, he goes, listen, son, if you bring me some money, I'll match it dollar for dollar, and I'll buy some shares of Apple. Now, I'm 6 or 7 at the time, and I'm trying to think, okay, well, how do I go and procure money? How do I go do that? So I walked down the road one day, and I noticed all these blackberry bushes. I was like, I'm hungry. So I went and picked some blackberries, popped them in my mouth, ate them, and thought to myself, some other people might enjoy these blackberries. So I started picking them. Then I started selling them door to door. Here was my sales pitch, by the way. I would go up to a door. It was fire. Imagine me, jean shorts, no shirt, no shoes, because I was in Georgia, and no one in Georgia wears shoes. So it was kind of the commonplace uniform. So I go up to this door, I knock on this door, and I go, hi, ma'am, my name is Jerremy Newsome, and I just handpicked these blackberries for you only hours ago, and I would love to give them to you. How many do you want? They're only $1. And I'd hold up an actual Ziploc bag of blackberries. I was really undercutting my whole product. I was like, they would have bought so many. Everyone did. My closing rate was incredibly high. Number one, I was selling it too cheaply. But number two, I was a 7-year-old in jorts. So I was slamming sales. So that summer, I made $1,300 selling blackberries for $1. Now, granted, some old ladies would go, you're so sweet. And they're just giving me $10 for a bag, because I'm in jorts. All right? And people who wear jean shorts, they're like, you deserve money. And I'm getting this money, and I don't know what to do with it, so I give it to my dad. And he, true to his word, I find out later that he borrowed money from my uncle to match my $1,300 because he didn't have $1,300 in cash laying around. And we bought some shares in Apple in 1994. Yep. They are worth right now $33 million. I sold them a long time ago. But they would have been worth $33 million. And what was interesting is that whole thought process in recent events spurred the book that I do have with me. This is I have 5 books. It is on Amazon. If you want to buy it right now, you can. It's called Money Grows on Trees. And the reason I wrote this book, and it does have a point in this whole product, I promise, is a lot of people talk about money not being available. If I ask people about sales, why is your business not doing good enough? Don't have enough money. If I ask someone, how come you've never taken that trip? Don't have enough money. How come you're not buying that house? Don't have enough money. You do have enough money. Money's there. Money's not the problem. We all think that money is the problem often, but it's not. Money grows on trees. Now you might think, oh, Jeremy, it doesn't literally grow on trees. Yes, it does. What is most money made out of? Paper. Where do we get paper? From trees. Trees are money. It doesn't even grow on it. It's like trees are actual money. Now, if you're like, well, Jeremy, a dollar bill doesn't grow on a tree. I can't pick the dollar bill. Well, then you just need to change your definition of money. It does grow on trees, ladies and gentlemen. So that is a mindset, right? So this book tackles that mindset. It tackles a lot of beliefs that we have about money that might be holding us back. And selling is one of those beliefs that really do hold a lot of people back. So the people that are in this room, we have real estate agents. We have lenders. We have contractors, wholesalers, financial planners, accountants, CPAs, entrepreneurs, business owners, house husbands, housewives. We have incredible human beings. We got professional sports athletes. I mean, Seth is amazing at ping pong, and I don't know if he is. I'm just making that up. Sales, my friends, is about negotiation. You're not selling, you are negotiating. Billy's taking notes on his phone right now. I appreciate that, Billy. Jot it down. Jot that. Sales is negotiation. That's all it is. You aren't selling, you're negotiating. You're trying to figure out what the other person wants. If they don't want what you're offering, if you don't want my book, cool. There's other products that I have. If you don't want what anyone else has anytime they come up on the stage or anytime you're on any stage, that's fine. But it's a negotiation process. And our job is to figure out what the other person needs and wants. That's it. And we can do that through a simple amount of questions. So what we're going to specifically learn today, the things that you actually will take away, because I was talking to a gentleman earlier today named Paul, who mentioned that he hates when people come up on stage and just do pitches the entire time and never learn anything. Raise your hands if that's true. It frustrates me as well. And here at this incredible event, we don't do sales pitches. There is no hard, hey, if you buy this right now, you'll save 45%, go to the back room and get it. And just do that the entire time. We're actually going to be learning things. I'm going to be giving you over 27 years of my sales experience, give you some insights, give you some information, do a lot of Q&A. If you have a question about how you can become better at whatever it is you're selling, if it's insurance, like my boy Eric, you want to do more insurance sales? Man, I can sell insurance to a penguin, all right? If you're talking about whatever your product is, one of the solutions is just simply finding out what people need. So what we're going to learn today is the 3 types of yes. There are 3 types. Welcome, ladies. Come on and pop in. Join in. You can sit beside Tom or Candace. There's 2 seats, wherever you want to sit. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. So we're going to learn about the 3 types of yes. We're going to talk about a few words to stop saying and start saying. All right, because some of you are saying words incorrectly that are just stopping your sales process. We got to learn what those are. We're going to talk about how to use mirroring to build rapport. Or when I was a kid, I thought it said rapport. How to build rapport. And then how to build trust with your clients. That's the other thing we're talking about. Because these tiny changes, just incrementally, super small changes in a voice or in the way you say something or the actual words you say or how you say it, small changes can get people excited. It can make people listen, or it might not. It can turn them away. You can either turn people on or turn people off. But these small changes that we make will cause a difference. So what business, Tom, are you really in? What business are you really in? Tom says helping people make their money more efficient, which is so true. I love efficient money. Whew. Efficiency is the rich man's laziness. I like being lazy and efficient. I want to make money while I sleep, a lot of it, so I can give it away to people, so we can enrich lives together. I love that. And he's not wrong at all. The cool news is, if you ever think about it this way, you're just in the trust business, my friends. Whatever product you have, someone needs to trust you. Now, the crazy part about this is you can use these skills that I'm teaching you for good or for bad things. That's just everything, right? A lot of people say, rich people are evil. No one actually says that, but they believe it, right? They see a guy in a Porsche, or if I drove up in a lime green Lamborghini, you guys would be like, oh, what a show off. Lambo. You don't know how much it costs. Maybe it's just a shell of a Lamborghini on a Toyota Corolla motor. We don't know these things. You can't just go judging by what someone's driving or what someone's wearing or their house that they live in. You don't want to judge. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because when we are using our abilities, we want to help people understand that they can trust us. And you can use that trust for good or you can use that trust for bad. Poor people do bad things, rich people do bad things. There's people who make a lot of money who do great things. There's people who don't make a lot of money who do great things. It's a beautiful, beautiful world out there, my friends. So you are in the trust business. That's the business that you're in. And here's a little bit of a cool diagram just to think about it, because what you're doing is everything is an energy. I forget who said that. It was a really smart dude. Mentioned that everything is energy, cannot be created nor destroyed. It's all energy. So all we're doing is transferring our energy, because if you're on the phone, you're going to be using some type of energy. If you're doing an email, if you're doing a text message, some people are firing off text right now. You are sending energies through the waves of the world. All we're doing is we're just transferring how much people trust us, how much we might trust ourselves, how much we might trust our product. If Eric has an insurance product, he probably believes that it works really well because it does. So when he's talking to someone, he's transferring his own trust to them. It's a simple transfer of energy. Transfer of clarity is huge. We'll be discussing that in about 16 minutes and 49 seconds when I get there. We're going to talk about how you can make things more clear to your clients and or customers. Eric's starting to time me with his watch. Bring it on. I am deadly with my timing, okay? Now, here are 3 ways to gain trust. Mirroring, listening, and empathy. Now, this is the part where a lot of people are going to go, yeah, dude, we know that. Listening and empathy. Got it. I was not very good at empathy recently. I'm something I'm working on, the empathy part, being able to feel what other people are feeling, because like a year, 2, 3 years ago, I would just go, well, I don't really care how you feel. This is how I feel. It's about me. But if you feel what other people are feeling, if you understand their pain, if you understand what they need, if you understand what they want, you might have a product that can fit their need. You might have a product that will remove that pain. And if you have a product that will remove their pain, they will buy from you. Always. Oh, I like blackberries. They taste good. Buy them. I just gave them the blackberries. They paid money for it. We exchanged currency. So here's the 3 ways to gain trust: mirroring, listening, and empathy. Mirroring is like one of the ones on there that you might totally not understand. So let's kind of define that a little bit. Now, from here going forward, you're all going to use this today and for the rest of your lives, and you should. And if you use it on me, I won't say, hey, you're mirroring me, but I'll know. This is a phenomenal technique that you can use in any conversation. Works great with your spouse, right? Ashley and I haven't fought in like months. You know, everyone has a little bit of a fight every now and then. But what I'm getting at is, if you can have a really good relationship with somebody, it's because you are understanding what they are saying. Mirroring is a great way to do that. Simply repeat the 1 to 4 most important words they just said. Mirroring. So if you have someone on the phone that says, hey, Tom, I would like a 4 1/4-inch plywood whatever. He would go, all right, so you would like 4 1/4-inch whatever they just said. Or if someone says to you, if you're a real estate agent, I would like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. You would say, so you would like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. Nice. You'd repeat that. And we're going to talk about why in just a moment. But you can do this in every conversation you have for the rest of your life. Because if you repeat the words that someone else says, they will like you better and they will trust you, because that means that you are listening to them. You can't repeat the words if you're not listening, my friends. If you're like, I wonder what Bitcoin's doing today. And you're on your phone checking Bitcoin, and they're telling you all the goods, all the secrets of the things that they just want to buy. If you repeat that to them, it'll tell them that you're listening, and then they will trust you more. This is a great skill to have. There's actually a study done recently where they took 2, I have no idea who does the study. I'll just throw that out there. People always say, someone did a study. And I'm like, who? I don't know who did the study. It's probably fake. I just heard it on YouTube one day. There was a study done, maybe, maybe not, who knows. But this particular study that might be hypothetical was you took 2 different groups of waiters in the exact same restaurant, same day. 2 totally different group of waiters. By the way, raise your left hand halfway in the air if you've ever been a waiter. That was your right hand. What do you got? Left hand. Okay. I automatically trust you. If you've been a waiter before, I trust you. That means that you know how to handle some really incredibly nice human beings. Just the nicest people in the world. Yes, ma'am. I love ranch too. And I apologize immensely that you don't have it right now. So what I'm going to do is everything in my power to make sure that you get the finest quality of ranch possible. And then I walk away and go get her some ranch, okay? So if you've been a server, you've been a waiter, you probably understand this. They took 2 groups of waiters. One group of waiter was very nice, like that, almost too nice. Like the kind of guy who walks up to your table, hey, what's going on? My name's Jeremy. What would you like today? Welcome to this. Have you ever been here before? You haven't? Wow, this is incredible. We offer this and this and this. So you know those waiters. And they do good. They're like, wow, this person's actually kind of nice and they're kind of high energy. I'm going to give them a good tip. But check this out. This group of waiters, 2 groups of waiters, in this hypothetical example, I have no idea who did the study, you had another group of waiters who were just calm and even normal human beings. You don't have to be high energy to sell, by the way. This is just how I am every single day of my life. You don't have to be this way to sell. In fact, we're going to get to that later. But they simply go up to these customers and would mirror them. Somebody would say, I would like a Cobb salad with no chicken, and can you substitute turkey instead of chicken on my Cobb salad? That waiter would go, so just to verify, you want a Cobb salad with no chicken, but you want turkey. Got it. What else can I provide for you? Those groups of waiters got 23%, made up number, 23% more tips, hypothetically, from the study that I don't know who did. But that's a big deal, maybe. Okay? 23% more tips. I mean, on a given day, when I was a waiter in an Indian restaurant, by the way. I know. And one of the things that I did, subconsciously, without even actually thinking through this process, is I didn't have a notepad at all. I just walked up to the table and was, welcome to Chutney's. My name is Jerremy Alexander Newsome. This is going to be an incredible dining experience, and you can order anything that you want. I'm going to remember it, and if I get it wrong, your meal's free. Order away. Oh, and people did, man. Whoo! I want the chicken masala, I want the chicken tutney, they're just throwing out these things. And I'm remembering it because I'm listening, because I actually care about what they want. Because Indian food is delicious. And if I go this whole order, you didn't ask for naan? I'd make sure they get some naan. If you guys don't know what naan is, I'm sorry. Get at me. I'll give you some naan recommendations. It's delicious. So this whole time, they would just give me these orders, and I would remember what they want, and I would go over to the cash register or wherever the thing was, and I would just type it in, and I would give them their meal, and they would enjoy it. And I would make bank, which at the time was like $120 a day. Not making bank. Okay, but this is before I learned all the proper mindsets of things. I was exchanging my time for dollars rather than my knowledge for time. And when I did that, I was getting really tipped well, but 20% more, 30% more, that's a big deal when you're 16, 17, and it's one of your first jobs. So repeat the 1 to 4 most important words. You guys got that? Say yes. Bam. All right. Moving on to this one. You guys all know this one, so this is going to be pretty quick. Listening and empathy. Display an understanding of what people are feeling and going through. If you understand their challenges, nothing else matters. Think about that for a moment. If you actually understand, actually understand, not just go, yeah, I hear you. That's the Southern phrase that drives me nuts. Yeah, I hear you. No, what? Yep, I hear you. Then tell me what you just heard. Fill me in. Understand what they're going through, and nothing else matters. Your resume won't matter. Okay? How much money you make won't matter. How many sales you make doesn't matter. How much experience you have doesn't matter. If you understand what they're going through, you understand their pain, that link is so crucial. Incredibly important. So listening and empathy, it's a big deal. Just do it. Understand their pain. Oh, man. Put yourself in those shoes. If they are in a house and they desperately need insurance, and you offer insurance, you can go, that would be, just put yourself in their shoes for a moment. Imagine having a home with no insurance and a big tree comes in. Man, that would be really painful. That'd be very, very scary. To lose a home like that, it's a lot of money, a lot of time. It's stressful. Good thing I can protect you if you want. You guys are ready to buy from me right now. I can feel it. All right. That's good. Next slide. When you are an agent, a lot of people in this room deal with real estate. Selling or buying a home is one of the most stressful things that the majority of people will experience in their life. It's stressful. So you have to understand that. Now, here's the cool part. Were we taught in school the exact steps to take to build trust with our clients? Was that a class that you took at some point? Someone said, no. I don't remember that class. I remember history, getting stoned, and I remember, that was it. I really liked history. And what I'm talking about is we're not taught these things in school, so we're going to do that in the very next slide. We're actually going to talk about right now what are the exact steps that you can use to continue to build trust, because it's crucial. This is a really fun one. When your client does anything. Now, we can talk about it, about buying a house. You can talk about selling a house, redoing their flooring, interior decorating, insurance, doesn't matter. Your client has no idea how long it's going to take. They do not know. Clarify and verify. They're going to be stressed out, whatever situation they're in. If they're looking for ranch because they just got some wings and they don't have ranch, they're stressed. This is their problem right now. Whatever that is, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what product that you're offering. I can tell you on stage, and I will. I'm happy to do that at the end. We can do Q&A. I can alleviate some of your guys' problems right now. Figure out what they're stressed about. This is really fun. How many people here deal with clients on the phone? Raise your right hand this time, but 3/4 of the air. Well, not all the way, but like 3/4. Okay. So some of these people in this room do not use a phone to talk to clients. That's incredible. All right. For those who didn't raise their hand, what about emails or text messages? Do you do emails or text messages? Okay. Perfect. So you can use that process in your emails, the same exact process, okay? Do not call or email or text and be like, hey, bro, how's it going? How you doing? You already know the answer to that. They're stressed out, man. Whatever it is that they're doing, they're already stressed. If they're buying a house, they're stressed. If they're selling a house, they're stressed. You already know how they're doing, so don't ask them initially. Ask them later. We'll get to that in just a moment. This is a really cool transition. A lot of people, especially in the South, do this. Oh, I need to get them to like me now. I'm going to start up front asking how they're doing. Hey, man, how's the kids? How's your family? Do that at the end. We're going to talk about that in just a moment. So you already know how they're doing. Instead, give them information. Call them on the phone. Hit them with this line. You guys ready? I hope you're writing this down because this is magic. This is straight up gold right here. Call them on the phone or email them. Tom's doing a text right now. He's texting a client as we speak, aren't you? He is. I'm telling you. He's typing quick. He's writing this down to their client. He's not saying, hey, man, how you doing? He's going, ready for this? Got some good news or got some bad news? Hey, friend. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Sandra. Hi, Courtney. Hi, Tim. I got some news, man. I got good news. I got bad news. We're all adults. Hit them with it. If it's bad news, give them the bad news. Give them 2 seconds to breathe and then hit it with them. Hey, I got bad news. You didn't get the house. But here's what we'll do to alleviate that problem. Hey, I got really good news. You ready? You just closed on your house. Congratulations. Hit them with the news first. People are adults. They got it. Hey, I got some bad news. I'm going to jail. Yeah, that would suck. Probably have someone else call them instead, okay? Now, whatever that news is, though, in all seriousness, just tell them up front. Start the conversation that way. You might think, well, Jeremy, that's rude. No, it's not. They don't care how you're doing. They care about their problem. Am I right? I'm right. They don't care about how much money you got. They care about how much money they don't got. They're not worried about your pain. They're worried about their pain. Alleviate their pain. So don't call and ask how they're doing. Good news or bad news, hit them with it. Bam. Now, we have to add predictability into our relationships. Now, predictability doesn't mean that you're boring. Doesn't mean that you're not spontaneous. I love spontaneity. Doesn't mean that you're not spontaneous, but you have to have predictability. Why would this matter? Who wants to tell me? Why would being predictable matter in a relationship, especially between a consumer and a buyer, seller and a giver? Oh, there's my man. Trust. When you become more predictable, people trust you more because they know your next move. They know what you're about to do. They know what you're about to say, and they like that. Doesn't mean you can't be spontaneous and say, hey, I got some bad news. It's going to cost you an extra 15 grand, but here's what we're going to do about it. All right? Hey, I got some bad news. Stock market's down. But here's what we can do about it. Buy more. So add predictability in your relationships. If you have nothing at all to tell them, call them and tell them that. Email them and tell them that. Text them and tell them that. You might think, no, because that's going to make me sound incompetent. That is incorrect. That's going to make you sound informed. If you don't have anything to tell them, then tell them that. Hey, man, I have no news. Okay, cool. Then they know that you have no news. They're not sitting there worrying and stressing about it, right? You might think, well, how does this relate to dress sales or retail sales? Sure, it can. Any of these issues can be related to anything that you're doing. Doesn't matter. If you're a personal shopper for people, and you go out and shop and make people look good, right? Billy Brown, I don't know if he has a personal shopper, but he might. His wife is his personal shopper. She's done good at it too, man. Killing it. This is all I wear, because, as you probably seen in all my videos, because this just works for me. Black and white, no decisions. Boom, shirt. I got 9 of these. Now, if we're talking about predictability, if you have nothing at all to tell them, just call them and say, hey, no news. No news, better than, it's just good. I don't even know what that phrase I was going with. Just call them and tell them, hey, nothing new. This adds stability. It adds predictability. People like that. Now, the reason I mentioned earlier not to ask them how they're doing at the beginning of the phone call or the beginning of the relationship or somewhere wherever you're following up, the reason I mentioned that, Lisa, if there's a Lisa here, is because people remember the last interaction the most when you're on the phone call. They're not going to remember the beginning, they're going to remember the end. Because remember the whole first impression thing? You've already had a first impression. I don't think anyone here needs help with first impressions. If you do, let me know. We'll talk about that. And I just mean that in all seriousness. There's nothing wrong with having a good first impression. But people remember the end. If you move your personal caring to the end of the phone call, or the email, or the text message, people will remember that. Texting someone, hey, I got some bad news. Bam. It's going to cost a little bit more than we thought. Here's what we can do about it. Here's how to alleviate that problem. Here's what I'm going to personally do because I'm amazing. By the way, how's Lisa? How's the family? How's the kids? Everyone doing okay? And they're going to read that. They're going to have the bad news, and then they go, oh, damn, he cares. What a great person. Because the end matters most. So we talked about that. Give them 2 to 3 seconds. People rely on you, and that's where you can shine in your experience. If you are very experienced at something, and I can't remember if this slide's on here or not, but I'll talk about it anyway right now. As I mentioned earlier, if you can understand what people are going through, if you can understand their pain, nothing else matters, including your experience. But if you are very experienced in your role, even better. You don't have to be the high-energy guy or girl to complete sales. You just have to be the very caring, very knowledgeable. You can be high energy if you want. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you use some of these skills, it will help you. It will help. Now, here's the cool part. This is the part of the presentation, especially online. I got a lot of my insurance reps watching this. I do go in and teach other companies. It doesn't matter if it's one person or 100 people. I teach other companies how to perform better on the phone, via email. If you sell something, I can go in and help you double what you're doing in the next year. This is the part where some people are going to get offended, and I like that. Because I've read a lot of books about sales, a lot of books. And a lot of them are going to talk about this particular thing. One of my mentors, one of the things I learned a lot about this, is a FBI negotiator. You can't lose in that situation. There is no, oh yeah, let me walk away, you're right. I'll just stop. You can't do that in an FBI negotiation when there's a life on the line. That deal, that negotiation has to be struck. There's no walking away. So keep in mind what I'm going to say. I'm not saying what you do now doesn't work. I'm saying people know about it. Their brains are trained that way. It's been happening for about 30 years. And granted, what I'm about to tell you, I'm not saying it's going to work forever. I'm saying it's going to work right now, a lot better than what you're doing right now. All right? Here it is. Next button. The yes game is overplayed, my friends. It is. When I came up here and I was like, who wants to be a billionaire? You guys are like, yeah. Because why? Every time someone gets you to say yes, you're being led into something. Am I right? Yeah. Even then you're like, I don't know if I should say yes or not. He just told me and then he said a yes question and I said yes to it. Oh. It is it's a visceral thing. I did that for a reason. When you get in that yes train, when you're getting on the phone, again, I train teams all the time to smile and dial. When they get on that phone, they just ask yes questions all the time. People are like, they're answering yes. I mean, you could call up someone and go, hey, you want more money? I mean, who's going to say no to that? They're going to say yes. So that's why we're going to talk about the 3 types of yeses in just a few moments. But the yes game is overplayed. It's outdated. It doesn't work as well as you think it should. In another study that someone did that I don't know the specifics for, The actual study that said that this works, I do know, was an academic study done in colleges. So they had a bunch of kids who were already pre-framed. They already knew that they were going to be saying yes to a bunch of things. They went out and said, hey, do all these programs with your other classmates. Give them money. Say yes a bunch of times and see if they want to take your money. And they were already pre-praying. They're already ready to go. The yes thing does not work as well as it should. Sorry, everyone out there on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. The reason I'm bringing it up is because people do this all the time. If I go into a call center, or I listen to one person at their desk calling clients, I do that all the time, by the way. I get paid handsomely to do it, and I change lives forever. But when I sit there and listen to someone on the phone, and they go, so ma'am, are you looking for a house? You already know they're looking for a house. They're going like, yeah, I'm looking for a house. Yes questions don't work as well as you think they do. Yes, in fact, is actually the last thing that you want to hear. Not last as in like the last part of the conversation, but the last thing that you want to hear is yes, because yes is nothing without how. If you tell me yes, that's cool, but it doesn't get me paid. Not until that ink is dry, that cash is checked, the money's on the table, whatever it is, whatever you're doing, yes is nothing without how. It's the last thing you want to hear. Some people describe yes as the most beautiful language in the world. I've been to those seminars. Everyone's like, yeah, woo. I've been to those. I've been to a lot of them. I like them. They're a lot of fun. It feels good to say yes. It feels good to get all hyped up and energized. I'm with you. If I had 9 more hours here, we'd be doing that stuff all day. I just got back from a conference 2 weeks ago where I did that for 48 hours straight. We're just having people just jumping up, talking about money, getting all excited. Yeah, it's fun. But we're talking about sales. Feels great to say yes and scream yes and all that good stuff, but when you're on the phone with somebody, what should you say instead? We're going to talk about that in 3 minutes, 19 seconds. So fun fact, in 1955, who was it? J.R.R., you guys all know that guy. He mentioned that the most beautiful word in the English language is actually cellar door. Yeah. That's the only fun fact you get for the day. Adds no value at all to this entire presentation. But someone in this room is going to be like, hey, did you know the most beautiful word? Cellar door? That is pretty. Sounds French. Here's the 3 types of yes. You have confirmation, counterfeit, and commitment. Oh, I figured out how to do the laser. Nice. Here's the ones that you hear most often when you're on the phone, or when you're emailing someone, or when you're texting someone. You get a lot of counterfeit and confirmation yeses. A confirmation yes is like Tom calling someone and saying, hey, you guys want to protect your money longer? Yeah. I'm just agreeing to what you're just saying. That doesn't mean I'm going to buy from you. I'm just agreeing with you. Yeah, that's a confirmation yes. I would like to make more money. Yes. Sure. I would like to protect my money during a down market. Who wouldn't? Tom does a great job at that, by the way, guys. Just letting you all know. Killer. Now, the counterfeit yes. Has anyone ever heard that before? They're just straight up lying to you to get you off the phone. Let me check with my wife. Or let me check with my husband first. No. They're just trying to get you off the phone. This is the yes that you're going to run into the most, is the counterfeit yes. That's why you don't want it. And here's the reason you don't want it. This is straight up gold right here. Oh my gosh. People rarely give out a wholehearted yes. Even when you're getting married, you're like, yeah. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. People rarely give out a wholehearted yes. When you're on the phone, when you're in person, when you're closing a deal, when you're asking them, would you like your website to perform better? They're going to say yes. But they know if you ask them that question, it's about to come with a price tag. Am I right? They already know that. Of course, everyone wants more money and they want their website to perform better and they want to come and have their sales platform, their sales funnel, and their CRMs revolutionized and reach more people and make more money. Everyone already wants that. What do they need? How do you get there? So people rarely give out a yes. People much prefer no. It's safer. Now, here's what's crazy. I hunt for no's all the time. Because if I get a no, then I get certainty, and so do they. People crave certainty. People love saying no. It makes them comfortable. Ready? Here's an example. Would you like to make a better return in your stock portfolio? Yeah? I mean, you're going to say yes. Everyone wants, Billy does not want better returns because he's crushing it. He's as maxed out. He's as good as he can get. People in your mind, you're going to say yes, but you don't want to say it verbally because of what I'm about to do. I'm about to pitch you something. Well, you should buy this really cool program for $395. It's 95% off just today, though. That's what your brain was like. He's about to do that. And I don't do that. I never do discounts. It always goes up, by the way. People much prefer no. It is safer. Ask them no questions. Ready for this? Do you like how your portfolio is performing right now? Now, if they say yes, that's a wholehearted yes. If they say no, you have information now. You now have information that you can use, and they feel perfectly comfortable. No, I'm not happy. Because someone says yes, subconsciously they feel like they're signing up for something. It's just what happens. Anytime someone says yes, they already know the game. They've read the books. They've been to the seminars, okay? They've heard it. They know the yes train. Yes, yes, yes. They know it. Where's that beautiful catch box? Let's throw that around a little bit. All right, so we're going to get the catch box installed, because what we're going to do is we're going to do some examples and figure out if anybody wants to give some questions or some examples on what you might be working on in your business regarding some of these questions. A question that you could totally revolutionize, totally change a little bit. Because if you're all asking yes questions, if your brain right now is trained to just ask questions that people are going to say yes to, let's figure out how we can make that into a no question. All right? It doesn't have to be right now. It can be in just a moment. Beautiful. Okay, so does anyone want to do this with me? I can put you on the spot, or I can just go and pick someone, and I will. All right, Eric's doing it. So Eric signed up. He's going to get the catch box. Look at that. That's how that works. That's how that works.
Excellent.
Beautiful. All right, my man. So just give me an example of a question that you would ask your normal clients that's going to end with a yes, and then I'm have you ask a question that ends with a no. What do you got for me?
Something simple. Are you currently insured?
Are you currently insured? That is a beautiful question. It could be a yes question, or it could be a no question. My man knows how to sell. What's another one that you're going to ask?
Are you more concerned with coverage or cost?
Are you more concerned with coverage or cost? What that does, my friends, is it gives people two choices. It doesn't back them into a corner. You don't say, are you more concerned with cost? Are you cost saving? They're going to have to say, no one wants to say, yeah, I'm cheap, man. I want to spend like as low as possible. Some people come out and say that, but rarely. Are you concerned with coverage or cost? Fantastic question. What else? What's another one?
Have you had any claims or accidents in the last 2 to 3 years?
Have you had any claims or accidents in the last 2 to 3 years? Again, a question that can be answered with a yes or a no. It's a beautiful example, and the thing is, we want to give people that safety. We want to be able to ask questions that do provide people with the capability of saying no, because it makes them feel comfortable. Give that box to my boy Tom right there. Great jobs. Tom, what you got, man? Let's hear some of your questions.
Oh, boy. Where are you saving money right now?
Where are you saving money right now?
That's one.
That's
question,
one,
but
okay.
It's not a yes or a no. I don't do a lot of yes or no questions, to be honest with you.
That's a good thing. That is. When you have open-ended questions, and again, this room, we're dealing with professionals, straight up pros. I get that. But that particular question is an open-ended question that allows people to answer it. Do you guys understand the difference between yes and no? All right, we got a question back here. My girl Allison, I guess someone wants to chuck that back to her. Beautiful. Catchbox 2020, here it comes.
So this probably wouldn't work for you, but I see your house is on the MLS. Would you be willing to lease it for a few years and then sell it?
I see your house is listed on the MLS. Would you be willing to lease it or sell it in a few years?
And it probably wouldn't work for you
When you say work for me, what do you mean?
as the seller.
Correct. That's a little bit, that kind of backs people into a little bit of a corner, and it does make them it causes them to make a decision right then, right there. A better question would start with either how or what. Meaning, if you ask them, how long have you been thinking about putting your house up for lease? Because if you answer that question, they might go, never. I've never thought about that. And you go, well, why not? Because that way, then you get them thinking, well, why haven't I done it? Because what you want to do is you want your customer to think it was their idea for whatever. You want them to think it was their idea to come to you. That's a fantastic example. Thank you so much. Do you have another one?
Not right now.
Okay, I love that, Allison. Thank you so much for participating. We got, oh, yes. Whoo, this handsome devil.
This is actually for me and Seth.
Okay.
So we run a webinar, and on this webinar, we teach people how to do a lot of things relating to songwriting, teaching them all this great songwriting stuff. And then at the end of it, a big question that we ask them is, so how many of you guys, and this is Seth who would be asking the question, but he's like, how many of you guys would like personal coaching from me? And the idea is that we're not going to give them personal coaching, we're going to actually sell them on a course. Mm-hmm. But we fill the chat up with tons and tons and tons of yeses. Just how many of you guys would like personal coaching from me? And just the chat goes crazy with yeses. But yeah, now I'm curious, like, is there a better way we could do that?
There is. Have you ever had personal coaching before? And then they say no, because most people haven't. Now, if you get some yeses, even better, you know your target client now. Capture that yes and just make, hey, you've had it before. And then you can ask questions like, was it good? Was it valuable? Was it, and you can ask them all these really good questions about their coach. You can find out all the information about the competitive coaching program that they took before you ever even offer your particular product to see if they want it or not. But yeah, a question like that is, have you ever had coaching before? And most people might say yes or no. You could also say, have you ever had coaching for music production or songwriting, or have you ever sat down with a professional Grammy award-winning artist, writer? And they might say no. Yeah, not author, but yeah. Pulitzer Prize winning. So yeah, I would say in that particular example, that's a very, very good example. I really appreciate you asking that, because that's a perfect example of getting everyone fired up, but your sales aren't that great, or they're not as good as you want them to be. Not everyone who says yes signs up, and you're like, why the hell not? If 15 people just said yes, I should have 15 people signing up for this, of course. But those are confirmation yeses. Those are like, yeah, that'd be really cool. Well, here's the price tag. Oh, but about that. So if you ask them a bunch of no questions, then you can ask them the question that's very, very fun. It sounds like you're being a mean face. I'm just substituting that word for other words. But if you're being a mean face, if you say, why not? Don't be afraid to ask that question. You don't have to be like, why not? You can also be like, why not? Why have you never done coaching before? And then they get to go, because it's too expensive or whatever. Or whatever their excuses are, whatever their thought process is, whatever their fears, it's always a fear. Fantastic question. Does anyone have another one? Because that was really, we've been doing good. Oh, here they come. All right, Allison had another one. Is that correct, Allison? And then Billy had one?
You want to get Billy? All right.
A question for me. Nice. Okay. My man, what do we got?
All right, here's one. I just thought of this one because most of our conversations are just conversations. But I was like, well, how do I ask this one? Because you got me thinking.
Yes.
So a client comes to us about lending. It's like, all right, on a scale of 1 to 10, what's your enjoyment level of talking to bankers and lenders?
It's a great one. It's a good question. Because one of the things that I do, I also I teach people how to do door-to-door sales. And because that's how I made $1,300 once. And one of the things you want to start off with is an obvious, kind of a funny question. Most people probably don't actually answer that question. If some do, they probably say, one. You can make it a good joke, but after that, you have to say, why? If you ever ask a question that gives someone, and there's other questions we can ask, we're going to talk about that in just a moment, but you're going to want to ask why at some point, potentially, because you're going to want them to explain. If they said, how much you like working with lenders on a scale of 1 to 10, and they're like, 1, You're like, well, why? Why is it a 1? And they're like, because they wear cheap suits and they are mean to me and they always bring me bagels. I don't really like bagels. I actually prefer like sandwiches or chicken tortellini Alfredo from Panera because that is fire. And they're going to give you some specific information. It's a great question, though. It gets a good feel. So when I do like door-to-door sales presentations, one of the very first things I do is I'll mention Eric, whatever their name is. Find out their name first, obviously. They don't care about your name. Ask them theirs first, and then you tell them yours. No, don't ever come up to someone's house and just say, hey, this is my name. They don't care who you are. They're pissed off because you're on their front porch, okay? They do not like you. You're probably a Jehovah's Witness. So bring that up that you're not. That's a great tagline. That's one of mine immediately is, hey, I'm not a Jehovah's Witness, so it's okay. Seth likes that idea. Bring up something that you're not because it will go, oh, that's nice. You can go, Eric, I know you hate door-to-door salesmen. I know you get frustrated by it. I know I'm on your territory, and you're like, why is this guy on my front porch? Good news is, man, I'm not selling you vacuum cleaners. And he might go, in his mind, subconsciously, yeah, oh, that's correct. And now he won't kick me off the porch immediately. Now, the next part's fun. But I'm not going to do door-to-door sales right now. That's an entire another presentation. That was fantastic. Allison has the Catchbox 2020. What's up, girl?
Hey, Jerremy Newsome.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, Jerremy Alexander Newsome.
I go by either, but thank you.
I'm curious, so what's the name of your mentor that was the FBI negotiator?
Chris Voss.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought maybe.
Yep.
Awesome. That was it?
That was it. Gotcha.
Yeah, I
Yep.
love his book.
Yep. Great book. Never Split the Difference. Fantastic book. Have it on Audible. It's really great. And yep. So when we're talking about these examples, these are all very, very good things to practice with your team. Ask open-ended questions, things of that nature. So here's the reason that some of you might have thought or might have hinted to where I was getting at. This is your goal for any phone call, text message, email sequence. If you're talking to somebody and you are trying to convince them of something, you have to get them to say verbally out loud or in a text message or email, that's right. Once you get them to say that, a connection has been made. An understanding has been completed. They agree with what you're saying, and that is paramount. My boy Eric needs that Catchbox. If you don't mind just chucking it down there, Seth. I appreciate your hard work, man. Thank you. What a good catch, Eric.
So I have a question for you. It's a little different market because it's the market that's coming up for most people, and that's going to be the millennial market. Not that there's anything wrong with them.
Yeah, dude. Don't attack me.
Yeah.
I'll get
you're
triggered.
Millennial too? So, so the most difficult thing about millennials is they don't want to communicate. So they want to do everything through a robot, computer, or texting. So how do you interact with somebody that doesn't, they just want the basic?
Dude, I love that question. Thank you for asking it. And number one, I'm about to mirror my man right here. Guys, check this out. So what you're asking is you want to figure out how you can communicate better with millennials because we're all like, hey man, I just want to text you all the time. Robots, I don't want to actually talk to you on the phone. That is a problem, number one. And number two, there are solutions. And number three, the solutions are fantastic because it's going to help you make money while you sleep. Hire a robot. Now, they exist. I'm not kidding. So you can have a text message responding robot that you build in all the questions that people will ask you. It takes like 3 hours to do. And you can hire someone to do that, obviously. And you go in and you build that robot. You put it on your website or on your social media or wherever it is that you want it. And this program costs like $1,500 or something. You buy this automated text message response robot and pre-fill all these questions and then just set it free. And when people contact you, they're like, hey, how much is your coverage? And then they'll ask a question. Are you more concerned with coverage or cost? And you can pre-fill whatever questions you want with links, and you can start making money while you sleep. That's a fantastic thing. In fact, you should do it right now because it's going to save you time and energy. Because you're right. Millennials hate talking to people. So give them a robot. That's fine. Give them what they need, man. It exists.
I'll ask you another question.
Okay. So Eric asked me, how do you build trust when there's no interaction? There's no personal interaction. You can build trust without personal interaction all the time. Colors help a lot. So the color blue, people trust the color blue more than they trust the color red. As crazy as that sounds, there's a lot of I know, I'm with you, man. Over there wearing blue, right? Black and white's like, I don't know what this guy's doing. But yes, so there are certain ways to do it, but to answer your question is if you build that into your robot where you can repeat the question via text message. So if they ask a question that says, hey, yo, man, I want this. And your robot has a pre-programmed, again, this is very affordable and it's very doable. So everyone I'm talking in the room, this product exists. So if you're over the age of 35, you're not a millennial. If you're under the age of 35, you might be. I am one. I can help you contact and communicate with millennials. It's really easy. There's a, have you ever heard of Coinbase.com? Have you heard of that website? So Coinbase is a way that you can interact with the cryptocurrency market. It's FDIC insured up to $250,000, and it's a way that you can buy Bitcoin, all the cryptos. The reason I'm bringing it up, not selling you on Bitcoin, even though you should buy it, is they have one of the world's best automated response email sequences and text message sequences. So if you want to go to their website, for everyone here, go to their website, especially if you're a programmer or you know a programmer, you can pull that page over, figure out all that coding, just take it right out and then use it for yourself. They have an incredible, I mean, dude, it is mind-boggling good. So when you're talking about building trust, who here thinks that if you can get your question answered in 15 seconds, is that trustworthy or not? Yeah. So without talking to anyone on the phone, you type in a question, and then that boop, question pops up, the answer, with a repeated question, like, oh, so you're looking for, you're asking, and here's your answer. That does build trust, man. It definitely builds trust. Yeah. Just that simple thing of repeating and mirroring, telling people what they want, what they just said, and then giving them the answer, they're going to love that. So I would consider checking that out. And that's a very, very good question. So we've been talking a little bit about this, but this really is, and again, if you think about in your day-to-day business, are you getting people to say that's right? If you're not, you're missing out on millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars or tens of dollars, whatever you're selling. You're missing out on dollars or euros or pounds. Maybe you're missing out on Bitcoins. Let's keep bringing that up because that's around forever, by the way, just letting you all know. Sorry if you don't hate it. If you hate it, it's here forever. So when that person says that's right, a bond has been made. This is your goal, my friends, in any negotiation, in any sales process, in any discussion. Whatever it is that you're selling, it doesn't matter. If it's makeup to Mercedes, you can sell it all by getting people to say that's right. Understand what they're going through. Seek first to understand and then be understood. Listen to them. What are their needs? Any questions about that or any questions in general? When Allison mentioned my middle name, so I've always done that, by the way. People are like, why do you always say your middle name? It's like, why did my parents give me one? I don't know. I've just always done that. They put it in there. It's on my birth certificate. And my name is spelled with 2 R's. If you thought that was a typo, it's not a typo. My dad's name is Jerry. My mom's a little bit of a creative hippie. And Jerry and me, Jeremy, yeah. Yeah, that happened. She's a beautiful, beautiful human being. Now, so how do we achieve getting our customers, our clients, to say, that's right? Because if you can get them to say that, you got it. You're in. They agree with you. You will not lose that customer if you do everything, well, not even if you do everything correctly, you pretty much got that customer. They'll be yours for a very long time unless you just royally screw it up. So, oh, my bad. Okay, so just keep talking. Keep taking. There's no L there. My bad. Keep taking. You guys wouldn't have noticed if I didn't point out, but it's okay. Keep talking until your client says, that's right. Like, don't get off the phone until you can agree with them. Ask them a question. You could just simply say a question like, let me just verify. You have your money tied up in a savings account? Pause. First person who speaks loses. You guys all heard that term. That term is correct. Pausing is amazing. Pause. If you're on the phone, if you're doing a presentation and you want to catch people's attention, pause awkwardly and you got it. Right then you're like, what's going on? Did he just freeze? Are we in the Matrix? If you create a good pause, people will start thinking. And if you ask them a question, pause. And just wait for them to reply. I've seen a lot of people ask them a question and then just ask another question right after. So do you have all of your money in the bank? I mean, because if you do have all your money in a bank account, I mean, it just doesn't really seem that really, the interest rates are not that great, blah, 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 Bitcoin. And there's that subliminal. I'm just going to keep dropping it. So there's that challenge there of feeling like you have to say something afterwards, but you don't. Just pause. They'll fill in the word. That is so crucial. So remember, I talked about restating what your client had already told you. If you keep doing that enough, text messages or verbally, they will in their mind say, that's right. Eric, you could also build in that robot saying something like, you probably think insurance is a waste of money, don't you? Yeah, I do. Or, yeah, that's right. I do think it's a waste of money. Question, would you rather spend $100 now or $100,000 10 years from now? Get them to think about it. Have you ever had insurance before? No? Why not? Millennials hate insurance. It's very valuable. I think insurance is incredible. I'm worth more dead than alive right now, by far, which is too bad, but most of us probably are. And the point is, there's so many things you can do with insurance. Am I right, Tom? Yeah. So if we can just teach people, right, when we're talking about seek first to understand, then be understood, we're going to get to this in just a moment, but you want to teach your customer. Do not sell them. I know I have the title, How to Be a Credible Sales Machine. Don't sell. Teach. Educate. Help them learn. I don't know anything about wood floors. If you want to know about wood floors, this guy knows wood floors. So teach someone. Don't tell them, oh yeah, man, this is all the wood floors you need. This is what it is. No. Ask them questions like, how much experience do you have? Do you want to lay your own wood floors? Do you know how much laying wood floors costs? Do you know how many people, blah, blah, blah. Just ask all these specific questions and teach them. Help them understand. Because if you can teach me something as a consumer, the chances of me buying from you are exponentially higher. If I learn something new from you, I'll go, wow, that was a valuable interaction. I just learned how to do that. That's incredible. All right, here we go. Stop asking why. Now, I did just earlier ask a bunch of why questions. I realize that. This particular statement, though, is just asked too much. Okay? When I say that, I mean at an initial interaction, when you're trying to get these feeling questions, a lot of people will ask why. Okay? Why haven't you done this? Why are you about to do this? I was coaching with a sales team here in Nashville, a real estate team. We're making outbound phone calls to people who are already on the MLS. They already knew they wanted to buy their house, and they're picking up the phone call, talking to these clients, and they're asking, so why do you want to move? Oh, whoa, bro. That's like a personal question, man. Right? Why do you want to move? It might not sound that personal, and they'll probably answer it, but they're going to be a little bit hesitant. Like, why does he want to know my details, man? That's like me. Why questions get people like, So when I say earlier, like when you're in this webinar and you're spending an hour and a half with them and you're asking them why not, that is a little bit painful. And they're going to, and then some people will answer, some people won't. I get that. However, if you instead ask how or what, these are better questions. These are better questions. So if you said, why haven't you ever done coaching? That's a good question. If you also could ask the question of, how come you've never done personal coaching? Or what's been stopping you from doing personal coaching in the past? Whatever that question is, what stopped you from working with a Grammy Award-winning writer? What has stopped you in the past? Oh, I just don't have enough money. How much do you think it costs? That's a how question and a what question. Whew, those are good. And if they say, I think it's going to cost $15,000, and yours costs $7,000, you got yourself a close. Because if they think it's more valuable, number one, that means you should increase your prices. Because if other people think that your product is more expensive than it is, you should increase your prices, number one. That's just a no-brainer, right? But number two, if that actually does happen, and hopefully it will one day, you can just get more information that way. So why oftentimes will lead to defensive customers. How and what lead to uncovering answers. Remember how I mentioned earlier that you want to figure out what your customer wants and needs? This is how you do that, by asking these questions. That's, wow. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hey, man, why are you drinking right now? Versus, hey, man, what you drinking right now? You see what I'm saying? Like, one's like, bro, I'm not an alcoholic, man. Calm down. I know it's Tuesday at 4, but just, hour later, it's 5. Just relax. Why are you drinking is accusatory. It's like, hey, man, tell me why you're drinking. What are you drinking? It's like, I want to party too. Two totally different questions, two totally different feels. You guys understand the point on that? Now, one of your biggest goals, I know there's a lot of content here. You can get the slides. I think it's 3340, something like that. Text it. It's great. I do it all the time. One of your biggest goals is uncovering the hidden needs and wants of your customers. So you can ask questions to simply find out. This is a really key takeaway. I didn't want to talk about that. I was going to talk about it, but here it is. People, Allison, you're going to love this one. People love to correct you. Ask them a question that you probably already know the answer to, and they definitely know the answer to, and if it's wrong, that's even better. Example. Hey, I noticed your client was selling because they think that the market's too hot, so they're trying to get out and sell their house right now? No, they're trying to sell it for this reason. Oh, okay, cool. Bam. You like that, huh? Yeah, that's good. So ask them questions that you think they already know the answer to. They definitely know the answer to, but ask it like you're assuming that you're right. And what if you are? Then you also know the answer now. That's great. It's a fantastic thing. So if you are trying to inquire why someone is selling, just do it this way. Ask other questions rather than saying, why is this occurring? What are you doing? How are you doing it? You can ask a question that you probably already know the answer to, that they probably already know the answer to, and they're going to correct you. People love correcting people. It makes them feel so good. Billy needs that box. Seth. Because he's creating breakthroughs over here, by the way, folks. Future liquid billionaire, and I'm going to be his friend. Yes. What's up?
But Tom's going to eat all my money, so yeah.
Hey, man, it's going to be bulletproof, though.
Bulletproof. So you're asking these questions. You know that they're going to correct you. How do you frame it in such a way that they go, dude, you're not even listening to me? Like, you're asking these stupid questions like that I got to correct you on, but how do you frame it in such a way that they seem like you're still listening, but you're not? You're trying to get to that no and that real answer, but at the same time, you're not really taking them off.
It's a very good question. So Tom's pretty much saying, how do you ask these questions and still sound intelligent without sounding you're not listening? These questions, when you uncover questions, when you ask questions that people are going to correct you, you normally are asking a question that you've never asked before in this conversation. I mean, that's the point. So when you're going through this whole process, so you're a lender as an example. So my boy Billy right here will just give you stacks of cash for whatever you need. Is that how it works? Okay. So he just has a stack of cash and just gives it to you and goes, hey, do whatever you want. Just kidding. But if you're going to ask those questions, let me see if I can come up with a good example for how you could uncover someone's needs. So earlier you asked about, hey, rate on a scale of 1 to 10. So you can go, you probably came here because you worked for one of my competitors. And you go, no, I've never worked with anyone before. That could be one. Or you could say something of the extent of, you're probably here because you went to one of my competitors and you found out that they charge 15% interest. Is that right? And they go, no, it's not right at all. They only charge 4% interest. They know how much your competitor charges. Yeah. And if it's lower than yours, step up your game or whatever. I don't know how it works, but you guys get the point? The competitor one is one that I use all the time. I'm in a very competitive industry. I do a lot of great things. One of them is I teach people how to day trade the stock market. Yeah, I'm really good at it too. And that's a very competitive industry. So when I'm asking these questions of people, that'll be a very good example of, so I'm assuming you're coming to me because you've already gone through a bunch of other courses and they're all terrible and you haven't made any money yet? And I'm going to find out all kinds of answers from that particular question. It's almost like I'm assuming what they've already done. And you won't sound stupid because especially early on in a conversation, even if it's really, 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 really far down the line, you guys are like best friends, you can always just call them up on the phone and ask them one of these questions that it's going to sound like okay, because you're just trying to figure that out. People love correcting you. So as long as you know that, that is a secret weapon in negotiations and in sales, which are the same thing. People love telling you and correcting you on something. One thing that you can do, I did not do this in this particular example, but I thought about it, is have a few words really, really badly misspelled. I did have one, but that was unintentional. But just really badly misspelled. Why is that, Seth? To see if people are watching you. Yeah. Because if it's really a glaring, I mean, you're going to make it obvious, right? Because you want people to type in the chat saying, hey, your slide's spelled wrong. And you go, thank you for, I'm very glad that you brought that up. I have that in there just to see if you guys are all paying attention. It's just a thing that makes sure that people are kind of watching. If you say something incorrect, people, again, love to correct you. It's one of those things that is really very useful and valuable. All right, here's one of the biggest things to remember. Everyone wants solutions, but nobody wants to spend money. No one wants to be sold, but everyone loves to buy. You guys heard the addiction? People will go to the store and just buy things that makes them feel good. Do not think that people don't want to buy. They don't want to spend money. So a question you could ask is, if they're asking you, all right, Seth, I'll back to your example. If you are asking someone about a program or a course for songwriting or really for anything, you could ask them a question that simply is something to the extent of, right over here, why is it, what's been stopping you from buying before? You could use that exact word. What's been stopping you from buying before? And they might mention money. And they might say, well, it always costs money. And then you could simply ask, I understand that it does cost money. In fact, in my experience in life, everything costs either money or time. So my question to you would be, how would you go about getting this without spending money? If this is something that you want, how could you get it without spending money? And they might go, I can't. Exactly. You can't. You'll never get it unless you spend money. I had to spend money creating it. Right? I had to spend money to be here. It's okay to spend money. Let's just make sure that this is within your budget. If it's not within your budget, it's okay. It's totally fine. You don't have to buy this. But no one wants to be sold. No one wants, like Paul didn't want me to come up here and just go, hey, here's this sales course that I have. It's a really great course. I don't have a course, but I do all this in person. I do all of it just because I like it. I like that interaction. I like hearing it. And I will have a course one day in the future, I know. But right now, all my courses are focused on the stock market and equities. I'm not going to get into that. So anyway, no one wants to be sold. No one wants that really heavy pitch. If you want to buy it, hey, cool, buy it. If you don't, hey, not an issue. Do you want this? Do you not want this? Here we go. So all of this can be accomplished by simply adding value. You can actually say this word as many times as you want. People like it. If you're doing your day-to-day conversation, your day-to-day sales, your day-to-day negotiations, and you go, listen, Bob, my main mission, my core objective in this discussion is I just want to add a lot of value. Just tell me, what do I need to add the most value for you right now while we're here? What's the most valuable thing that I can do today while we're in this discussion, while we're on this phone call, or while we're in this email? People are going to think about that. I mean, they're going to give you a very specific thing that they want. Oh, wow, that's really kind. I mean, the thing that you could do to help me out, I mean, the value that you could add for me is just find me a house. I'm very expertly skilled at that. You got it. Consider it done. What type of house? Bam. So really good one. So just always think about that, because some of the phone sales companies that I work with and I train with, I make sure that they know that they're adding value. So they think that every time they get on the phone, they're just trying to make a sale. They're just trying to take money from people's pockets. It's like, don't think about it that way. Think about that you're actually adding value, right? They have floors that need to be covered. That is a very valuable piece of a home, is the flooring. So it's not that you're taking people's money. That transfer is just a transfer of energy. If someone's giving you money, you're giving them value, or at least you should be. So it's okay. If you can contact anyone with the mindset that you're simply adding value, it will be easier to sell your product. You will find it much more applicable. Here's one of my favorite formulas. I have it in my book, which I only have 5 of, by the way. They're $10, and we can all buy them today. Money equals value. It just does. Money equals value. If you want more money, what should you do? You should add more value. That's it. It's very, very simple. Just add more value to more people or to one person or to multiple people or to a singular human being. Just adding more value is proportional. It can't work any other way. If you add more value, you will get paid more. Simple as that. If you want more money, add more value, never sell, simply offer a solution. All right, here's some last easy tips. Speak clearly. So if you're on the phone, this is something I struggled with a lot. You might remember I mentioned I was born in Georgia. I used to have a thick accent. No one could understand me, and I stuttered. It sucked. Speak clearly. Speak slowly. You can be excited. We talked about that earlier. That's fine. You can be confident. If you use that word, Allison, in any transaction that you have, it helps the other side. Listen, Deborah, I'm confident in this route for you, in this avenue, in this choice that you're making. If you're confident, they'll be confident. Are you confident? Is it actually a good product? If you're not confident, then don't give it to them. So you can be excited. There's nothing wrong with being excited. You can be confident or just be really knowledgeable. I have one guy who does insurance, and he calls people and goes, I know you hate telemarketers, and I'm not a telemarketer. I'm actually an insurance nerd. I love helping people with their insurance policies. He does health insurance. I love helping people with their health insurance policies. I know everything about every health insurance policy possible. If you have a question, I have an answer. What question do you have about your policy? That's his opening line. His closing rate is stellar. All right? This guy just writes policies every single day. It's amazing. So be knowledgeable. That's nothing wrong with being knowledgeable. If you know a lot, say you know a lot. If you're a master, say you're a master. If you're not, then be excited. Okay? Or be confident. And the knowledge will come. Fake it till you make it, that whole thing. Yeah. That's how you get experience. Am I right? You have to dive in and do it at some point. Okay, one last test. I do this. I see this all the time. People pick up the phone, and they'll just simply talk. I'm going to do an exercise. I want you guys to figure out and tell me which one is the one that I'm smiling on. Ready? All right, here we go. Shirt's the same color on the back. Hi, my name is Jeremy. Who am I speaking with today? Hi, my name is Jeremy. Who am I speaking with today? Which one was the smile?
Second.
Isn't that nuts? I swear, you could try it any day you want. Anytime. You do not have to change anything in here. You don't have to change anything in your vocal cords. You don't have to change anything in your mind. You don't have to make more money, drive a bigger house. Just smile. People can tell. Hi, how are you doing today? Hope you're doing great. It just sounds better. Hi, how are you? My name's Jeremy. Hi, how are you? My name's Jeremy. The smiling is easy, free, simple, and it will lead to more sales. All you have to do is smile, even if you're doing a webinar or a presentation. So if you want to contact me in any form or fashion, I do not have a sales pitch, as Seth mentioned, even though I could. But if you want to contact me, either on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all the social media things, you know how it works. I'm on social media. Seth, do we have time for Q&A?
Yeah, we got 5-10 minutes.
5-10 minutes, beautiful. Does anyone have any questions for me? I don't know how to put that up there.
I got one quick one, Jeremy.
My man.
So when you're out in the real world, interacting with people who are terrible salespeople and not knowledgeable, and do you personally just get frustrated? Because it drives me absolutely crazy when I'm in the regular world trying to do something, and I'm like, oh my goodness, you need so much help. You should not be doing this. You know?
Are you talking about me?
No, I'm just talking about for example, you kept bringing up a flooring person. I'm talking about something like that.
You know what's brilliant, man, is my favorite part about that is he's like, in the real world, because I agree, this room, no normal human being does this. It's a Wednesday morning. We got business to do. Right? You guys know how much money you're missing out on for being here right now? You're not closing deals. I get that. So thank you for your time, by the way. It means an immense amount of things to me. But yes, we're not in the real world. This is next level, upper echelon type of group. I do. And when I run into salespeople, so let's say I'm being sold something. Man. So when people try to sell me, because I know all the tricks. I already know what they're doing. Cool part about it is I'll go ahead and give you guys a hint. If I want to buy something, I'm already going to buy it. You can just ask me, hey, do you want to buy this? And I'll either say yes or no. You going to buy this Rolex? Yeah, I do. I'll buy it. Car? Sure. If I don't, you can't. I'm just one of those guys. I'm either full on yes or full on no. I'm black and white. I did that right? Okay, good. Oh, I was practicing that, man. Practicing. So yes, I do. And honestly, I either don't buy from them at all, or I will find a competitor. And I will mention to them very simply, you would have sold me if your sales process was better. I just think you need to increase your sales process a little bit, and only because I don't feel like I'm getting the best product, and I don't think that you know your product as well. I'm not trying to be a mean face or anything, but that's just how I feel. So if you want to take my sales course, you can go through it, learn how to So I don't do that specifically, but he's absolutely right. We're going to run into these all the time. And honestly, man, that probably happens just day-to-day life anyway. Like, you're going to run into people who are also mean faces. I always wanted to work at a Taco Bell, and one day I will, even if it's just for 5 minutes, because I want to go to the window, and I can guarantee that I could just be the nicest human being on that Taco Bell mic as much as I wanted to, and sales would probably go up. Just be nice to people. So yes, man, it happens all the time, and I really don't know what else to say other than I just avoid them. Bill, what we got?
Another thought experiment here.
Thought experiment.
Because I've been thinking about this, and I'm a little bit of a geek when it comes to it, because I learn from watching other great salespeople do their thing. So actually, I like getting sold because I steal it from them.
Me too.
Okay, so the question there is, and of course, this international multi-billion-dollar, multi-million audience watching you, what companies do you think have the best sales process that we should go watch?
There we go. That's a good question. Cant Cardone. I do not like his sales process. I've read every book he has, and I just don't like the way he sells. One of the best sales process that I've been through, Trunk Club. Has anyone ever heard of Trunk Club before? If you get a chance, check him out. I don't use Trunk Club, as I mentioned earlier. I just do this. And there is a reason, is because I subscribe to the whole Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg thing, where it's just I don't have to think about what I wear. It's one less decision I have to wear every day, so I just put this on. Secondly, the Trunk Club was one of the best experiences because I was like, what do you want? Here's how to find it. Here's how to get it. And I had someone who called me. She was amazing. She was asking me all these great questions. I mean, it was just, and it was incredible. And I did pay her. I did buy a box. And I told her straight up, hey, I just went through your process because you just hooked me in. From Facebook, I just fell into this funnel, and it was amazing from step one. And I've actually reached out to do some consulting with him, and I did not get that, but not a problem. Trunk Club is incredible. Music&Money, phenomenal. Full Circle, music, incredible sales process. In all reality, Trunk Club is a very good one. Carvana is nice. Some Tesla dealerships can be very good as well. It depends on the person you're speaking with, but a lot of them are trained not to sell you a vehicle. They say, most that I've worked with will come up to you and go, so you're here to experience a Tesla. You already know it's expensive. They don't use the word expensive. They use the word, you already know it's valuable. You want to drive one? They're awesome. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, Tesla, a lot of Tesla, they don't, if you go to the one in Brentwood, at the Tesla dealership, I think it's pretty good experience. Aston Martin dealership here is also quite nice. So there's a lot of people that can do really well, and I agree with you. I like to go places and just find out other people who sales pitch. I think that's probably my last 5-10 minutes. All right, anyway, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for being here. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so good, my friend. It's amazing. I love it. Hey, thanks for learning with us today on the show.
We would love to meet you at one of our free monthly meetups in Middle Tennessee.
Hit the thumbs up button if you like the content. Make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss a thing on this channel.
Check out another awesome investing video here.